सो स्टूडेंट्स, आज के इस लेक्चर में हम डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं लॉ ऑफ मास एक्शन। और लॉ ऑफ मास एक्शन डिस्कस करते करते हम इक्विलिब्रियम कांस्टेंट को भी डिफाइन करेंगे। हम यहाँ पे एक्टिव मास को भी डिफाइन करेंगे और हम सीखेंगे हाउ कैन वी अप्लाई लॉ ऑफ मास एक्शन टू डिफरेंट रिएक्शंस एंड हाउ कैन वी अराइव एट numericals, how can we solve numericals which have been asked in last year competitive exams. Now what does law of mass action tell us? Now see, if I consider a reaction, अगर हम यहाँ पे एक reaction consider करेंगे, for example x times a plus y times b gives products. I consider a reaction x times a plus y times b gives products. Now what is this x and y? X is stoichiometry of A. What is this y? It is stoichiometry of B. Stoichiometric coefficient of A. This is stoichiometric coefficient of B. For example, if I have reaction like this, nitrogen plus hydrogen gives ammonia, NH3. Now this is 3 times. What is this 3? It is stoichiometric coefficient of hydrogen. What is this 2? It is stoichiometric coefficient of this ammonia. What is this? There is nothing, means it's 1. What is this 1? It is stoichiometric coefficient of nitrogen. Similarly, x is stoichiometric coefficient of A, y is stoichiometric coefficient of B. Now if I apply law of mass action to this, what law of mass action says? According to law of mass action, rate of this reaction, rate means the speed with which the reaction will take place, the speed with which the reactants will form products. Rate of this reaction will be directly proportional to concentration of reactants. Concentration of reactant means that's active mass of reactants. It is directly proportional to active mass of A into product of active mass of other reactant, that's active mass of B, raised to power their stoichiometry. What is stoichiometry of A? It's x. What is stoichiometry of B? It is y. Now this rate, it is directly proportional to active mass of A. What's active mass? We'll discuss. Active mass of B raised to power their stoichiometry. But the product of active masses of reactants. Now see, wherever there is proportionality, we have to use constant. Therefore rate is equal to K into active mass of A raised to power x into active mass of B raised to power y, where this K is called rate constant. It is rate constant. From this equation we can state law of mass action. Therefore law of mass action states that rate of any reaction is directly proportional to product of, this is the product of active mass which is in square brackets, active mass of reactant molecules, that's A and B, raised to power their stoichiometries. We can define over here law of mass action. It states that the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the product of active mass of reactants raised to power their stoichiometries, stoichiometric coefficients. Raised to power their stoichiometric coefficients. Now let us take one more reaction and apply law of mass action to that reaction. For example, we take m times A plus n times B plus y times C gives products. We have to apply law of mass action to this. According to law of mass action, rate of this reaction will be equal to rate constant, that's proportionality constant, into product of concentration of reactants. Reactant over here is A, B and C. Product of A into product of B into product of C, raised to power their stoichiometry. What is stoichiometry of A? It is M. What is stoichiometry of B? It's N. What is stoichiometry of C? It is Y. This is law of mass action. Now here one more term comes out, that is active mass. Now what is this active mass? Now see, to define active mass, I will take 2-3 species: pure solid and pure liquid. This is very important concept. This is used everywhere in physical chemistry. In next year you will use it in electrochemistry. You will use it in chemical kinetics. Pure liquid. Let us take, these are gaseous species and these are species, that's aqueous species, ionic species, aqueous species. Now see, for gases, active mass is expressed in terms of pressure, because in gases we deal with the pressure. Active mass is taken in terms of pressure, that is unit will be in terms of pressure. For aqueous species, active mass is represented by concentration. Concentration is equal to number of moles, that's moles per liter of solution, moles per liter. This is concentration. And for pure solid and pure liquid, active mass is taken to be constant. By constant I mean that it is taken to be equal to unity. If you see any solid or any liquid in the reaction, then its active mass is taken to be unity. Now how can you see that there is a solid? Whenever a reaction is given, for example calcium carbonate, it dissociates to give calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. The symbols are represented over here. Now this is gases, we will deal it in terms of partial pressures or pressures. This is solid, its active mass will be taken to be unity. This is solid, its active mass will be taken to be unity. We will see these examples later on. First we will write over here active mass of, number second point, active mass of pure solid. This is very important. Questions are based actually on this. Pure solid and pure liquid is taken to be equal to unity. It is constant. Now see what happens when we have a reversible reaction. Now whenever there comes reversible reaction, जब भी कहीं reversible reaction आएगी, आपके दिमाग में एकदम से concept आना चाहिए equilibrium का. What about reversible reaction? Now if I have a reversible reaction, for example n times A plus m times B gives x times C plus y times D. This is a reversible reaction. Now for a reversible reaction we define another term that's called equilibrium constant. Equilibrium constant. We define another term that's called equilibrium constant. It is represented as KEQ. It's equal to, since a reversible reaction A gives B and B gives A, it takes place in two possible pathways. It takes place in forward direction, it takes place in backward direction. For this forward reaction we can have rate constant Kf and we can have rate constant Kb. This equilibrium constant is equal to rate constant for forward reaction divided by rate constant for backward reaction. Now question is asked even from this. If you are given a rate constant for forward reaction and backward reaction, you can determine equilibrium rate constant. Now see, this reaction takes place in two ways. There will be rate constant for forward reaction, there will be rate constant for backward reaction. Now see, if I apply law of mass action to this reaction, these are then reactants, that's forward reaction, and this is backward reaction, then these are reactants. Applying law of mass action to these reactants, rate will be equal to, for forward reaction, Kf into concentration of A, product of concentration of reactants. Reactants are A and B raised to power their stoichiometry. Now similarly we can apply law of mass action to this reaction, that's backward reaction. And whenever we talk of backward reaction, then these become reactants. Rate will be equal to, rate किसके बराबर होगी? Rate होगी Kb backward reaction into concentration of reactant. C is reactant, D is reactant for backward reaction. Concentration of C raised to power x, concentration of D raised to power y. Now what happens at equilibrium? These two rates become equal. At equilibrium, these two rates become equal. This is equation first, this is equation second. Now at equilibrium, these two rates become equal. At equilibrium, we have studied in last lecture the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction at equilibrium. Kf becomes equal to Kb. At equilibrium, rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. Now what is rate of forward reaction over here? It is this. What is rate of backward reaction over here? It is this. Now let us divide these two reactions. Now this and this will go, it will be equal to 1. 1 will be equal to Kf into concentration of A raised to power n, concentration of B raised to power m, divided by Kb into concentration of C raised to power x into concentration of D raised to power y. Now bring this quantity over here. We can get Kb into concentration of C raised to power x into concentration of D raised to power y is equal to Kf into concentration of A raised to power n into concentration of B raised to power m. This thing we have got over here, this will be equal to this. Now this is Kf, Kb. What's equilibrium constant? K equilibrium is equal to Kf divided by Kb. If we determine over here Kf divided by Kb. Now what is Kf divided by Kb? This Kb we have brought over here. It will be equal to, what is K? We will write it like this. In order to make it easy, we will write it like this. Now Kf is over here. It will be equal to concentration of C raised to power x into concentration of D raised to power y. Since it is in multiplication, bring over here, it gets divided. Concentration of A raised to power m and concentration of B raised to power m multiplied by Kb. Now bring Kb over here. Therefore, what we get? Kf by Kb will be equal to concentration of C raised to power x into concentration of D raised to power y divided by concentration of A raised to power m, concentration of B raised to power m. What is this Kf and Kb? Rate of forward reaction, rate of backward reaction. This is equal to K equilibrium. Now we have got a new relation, that's K equilibrium. It's equal to concentration of products. This is the product, C multiplied by D. Product of concentration of products divided by product of concentration of reactants raised to power their stoichiometries x, y, n, m. Now what is C and D? This is product. What is A and B? This is reactant. Now equilibrium, K equilibrium constant is defined as the product of concentration of products C and D and the product of concentration of reactants A and B raised to power their stoichiometries. Therefore, we can define over here equilibrium constant. Now define equilibrium constant over here. Equilibrium constant it is defined as the product of concentration of product of concentration of products divided by product of concentration of reactants raised to power their stoichiometries. Raised to power their stoichiometries. Now it will become easy for we people to determine equilibrium constant of any reaction. Now let us consider a reaction. Nitrogen plus hydrogen use 2 times ammonia. Now balance, first you have to balance the equation. Now determine equilibrium constant for this reaction. K equilibrium will be equal to product of concentration of products. What is the product? Product is ammonia. That's active mass of ammonia. Raised to power its stoichiometry. What is stoichiometry? 2. Divided by product of concentration of reactants or active mass of reactant. What is reactant? It's N2. And what is reactant? It is H2. raised to power their stoichiometry. What is stoichiometry over here? It's 1, need not to be mentioned. What is stoichiometry over here? It is 3. This will be equilibrium constant for this reaction. Now you can write down equilibrium constant for any reaction. Let us do examples 2, 3 so that we can practice 2 or 3 questions. Calcium carbonate decomposes to you calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Now see, it is written over here, it is solid, this is gas. Now what I have told you, for pure solid and pure liquid, active mass is taken to be unity. First we will write K equilibrium for this reaction. Now K equilibrium will be equal to product of constant active mass of products. What is product? It's calcium oxide. What is product? It's carbon dioxide, their product. Divided by concentration or active mass of reactant. What is reactant? CaCO3. Now see, stoichiometry over here is 1, stoichiometry is 1, stoichiometry is 1. Now see, active mass of pure solid and pure liquid is taken to be unity. Therefore, active mass of this calcium oxide, it is taken to be unity. Active mass of calcium carbonate is taken to be unity. K equilibrium will be equal to concentration of carbon dioxide only. Now see how you have to solve questions. Let us take one more question. H2 plus I2 gives twice HI. This is a reversible reaction. This is gas, and this is gas. You have to determine K equilibrium for this reaction. K equilibrium will be equal to product of concentration of product or active mass of product, that's HI, raised to power stoichiometry, that is 2, divided by active mass of reactant, that's H2, into active mass of another reactant, that's I2, raised to power their stoichiometry 1 and 1. This will be K equilibrium. Now you have to only remember one thing over here. Active mass of pure solid and pure liquid is taken to be equal to unity. It is taken to be equal to unity, not aqueous solution, not gaseous species. Now see, this equilibrium constant K equilibrium, it is of 2 types. Now we have 2 types of equilibrium constant. Now K equilibrium we can have of 2 types. One is called our Kc and the other is called Kp. Now what is Kc and Kp? How can we derive a relationship between Kp and Kc? Now see, let me check the length of video first. Okay. Now Kc is equilibrium constant. Kp is also equilibrium constant. This is written for gaseous species and this is written for other species. Now see, for example, we have a reaction over here. X times A plus Y times B aqueous gives Z times C aqueous plus aqueous B, M times C and N times D. Let this is also N times D. Let this is also aqueous. We can write equilibrium constant for this reaction. Kc will be equal to concentration of C, that's active mass of C and active mass of D, raised to power their stoichiometries, that's M and N, divided by concentration product of active mass of reactants, that's active mass of A into active mass of B, raised to power their stoichiometries, that's X and Y. Now see, active mass of A is a solid, therefore its active mass is taken to be unity. It is not to be mentioned over here. Now in case of gaseous molecules, what we are doing? Gaseous molecules, we express concentration, this active mass, in terms of pressure. For example, we have X times A, this is gaseous species, gives Y times B, this is also gaseous species. In case of gaseous species, we write this K equilibrium equal to concentration of B raised to power Y divided by concentration of A raised to power X. Now see, both are in gaseous state. This is in gas state. Therefore, in case of gases, we deal with the partial pressures. Therefore, we will write partial pressure of or pressure of B raised to power Y divided by pressure of A raised to power X. This is in case of gases, because in gases we write we write concentration or active mass in terms of partial pressures. We can also write it in terms of concentrations, but in this case we write in terms of concentration. In case of gases, we write concentration or active mass mostly in terms of partial pressures. This is Kc, this is Kp. In the next lecture, we will study what is relationship between Kp and Kc and what is Qc of reaction. Thank you for watching this lecture.